I got in a fight with my daughter the other day. She's 20 years old. She's in college for theater, and I was telling her, I said, "Listen, you need to, do some stand up. Get out there. It's the best. It's one of the best things to get comfortable on stage." And she goes, "Well, I don't know if it's the same and everything else." And getting you as a guest was like, I'm going, this is a godsend. You went to Dartmouth, you do stand-up, you're on TV, you're writing, you're doing everything. What kind of advice do you give to a 20-year-old girl in college, a woman who's, she wants to start a career? What would be the best advice you can give somebody like that?
And she's studying acting?
Yeah,
she's
she's in a theater program. She's doing what she can do.
Good for her. Well, it's tough because everybody's path is different, right? So, but here's what I will say. I think that your advice is great because it doesn't have to be stand-up. It could be improv, anything. But getting on stage and feeling comfortable on stage and like losing your fear of being in front of people and not knowing what to say next, like that, getting into that kind of mindset will make you a better actor. And I always think about, some of the greatest dramatic actors that we have came out of comedy. Tom Hanks, Robin Williams, Whoopi Goldberg. These are, even, oh God, I was trying to think of, oh God, I can't think of that. There's just been so many comedians that have come out. Oh, Steve Martin. There have been so many great dramatic actors that came out of comedy. It's because comedy makes you absolutely fearless. You have been up in front of a crowd. You have shed your armor. You're willing to be humiliated in front of strangers. And it just gets you, a bit more brave. So it doesn't mean that she has to be a comic, but just kind of being up on stage like that is a really great way to get, to kind of be a braver performer. The other thing I would tell her is try everything that's interesting to you, because maybe you want to be an actor, maybe you don't. Everybody kind of sees the glamour of it, but they don't all really know that, most of it is, you essentially auditioning. I mean, acting is like 1% acting and 99% trying to get a job. And sometimes people get into it and then it's not for them. So try everything. Maybe you want to be a writer. Maybe you want to direct. There's a million things you can do in this business. And you may not know until you try them. You might spark to something else, or you might want to do all of it. I started out as a stand-up, and then I started acting, and I started writing, and then I wrote 2 books, and then I started writing screenplays, and now I've directed 2 films and about 15 episodes of television. And at my 25, I would never have told you that, 2 decades later, I would be a film and television director. So a lot of that was just about trying things and pushing myself as hard as I could to learn and to grow. So those are things I would say is just be brave, try everything you can. Don't be afraid to fail. Lean into the joy of the job and don't worry about all the glamour, because that stuff's all fake anyway. Like, I'm all dressed up on top, and down here I just got sweatpants on. It's all smoke and mirrors out there. And, don't be worried about the dumb Kardashians, do your own thing.